Hi everybody, welcome to another class of Cooking with Daddy. Now you ask, why Daddy? Well, I'm a dad, and I love cooking, that's why. And also my current students, I tell them that I'm their dad, some of them call me Daddy. Now my older students call me Palencia. I don't know why, there's no mister in there, but that's what they do. Tonight we're gonna be cooking aguadito. What's aguadito? Where's it coming from? It comes from Peru, home of the potatoes, and it's a soup. It's a chicken soup, but it's cilantro based. What does that mean? That I'm gonna use a lot of cilantro, green peas, celery, carrots, obviously potatoes, ají, which is a hot pepper from Peru, and a bell pepper just to give it a little bit of color. It should turn out green. We'll see how it goes. And again, welcome to my class. Okay, so I cut some of the onion. Actually, I use half. And now I'm gonna do the celery. You can dice it finely or as I do. Now I don't have an exact recipe. If you are Peruvian or you've done this before, then do me a favor and in the comments area, go ahead and correct my mistakes. I've been making this soup for probably about 10 years. It's great when it's cold, rainy. It's supposed to be rainy today and cold, and if you're feeling a little bit under the weather, this should help you. And no, this is not a coronavirus cure. Hopefully we'll get that soon. But this is onions, celery, and I'm gonna get the carrots. So here you go. You got the famous trinity. That's onion, celery, and carrot. However, I'm gonna add a bell pepper just to add a little bit. I like how it tastes. I like the sweetness of it, and sometimes the flavor that it gives. Okay, now please make sure that you wash everything. Now we're gonna be dealing with chicken, so make sure that after you cut chicken, that you wash everything you use, the cutting board, the knife, whether there is corona or not. You always want to wash whenever you cut chicken. Whenever you touch poultry, you need to wash your hands. This is very simple. Kids will love it. Now I add, once it's done, when we eat it, we serve it with avocado. We try to meet it. The color of it is going to be green, so by adding avocado makes it even greener. I like to add lemon to it. So you can add all sorts of things. What I'll do is I'll put the ingredients in what I normally do in a bit. But again, if you want to add more bell pepper, that's up to you. If you don't, that's fine. It just the more you make it, the more you'll find which flavors work for you. Sometimes I put a little much ají, and family members complain that it's a little hot. This is the ají. Okay, you can get it at any Latinx store, a couple of dollars, but it tastes great. I also use it. Next time I may do lomo saltado, another Peruvian dish. Hello, we're back. So I'm adding a little bit of olive oil. That's about fine right there. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the oil to heat, these are the chicken thighs that I'm going to use. I like to remove the skin. And remember what I said, after I'm done here, I'm going to wash the knife. I cannot use it with anything else, or use another knife. If you want to cut something else, I got potatoes to cut, I got corn to cut. I like to take the fat out, so to remove, getting it too greasy, too fattening. Very simple. Chicken's very cheap. So I sometimes have a competition here at the house who can make the cheapest meal. And the cheapest meal that I've made was $4 for 4 people. And that was cauliflower, fried cauliflower with a red sauce and rice. Came out good. My kids like it, and it's cheap. This one you're looking at chicken, which generally is cheap. Now, do you want to go organic? Yeah, it makes a difference in the taste, but it's up to you. You're gonna have this chicken boiling in the soup for a while. I try to take as much as possible fatty tissue. Okay, so I got the chicken all ready. Like to use a little bit of salt. Okay. Then I'm going to saute the chicken with the vegetables, with the onion, garlic. Actually, this one doesn't have garlic, but again, if you like garlic, by all means, you can add garlic to it. I was meant to say the onion, the celery, and the bell pepper. I like to cook this or just saute skin down, although I try to remove most of the skin. But that side will go down first and let it get its flavors. It'll marinate with the carrots, everything, okay? I got the potatoes here, so those will come later. But I have this ready. And again, I sound like a broken record, but you want to wash. I'm going to end up washing the knife here and the cutting board. Okay, so there you go. That's what it looks like. You see the red or orange of the carrot. Sometimes I like to use red bell peppers instead of yellow, just to give it either that Mexican color or the Mexican flag or the Italian flag. This time I use yellow bell peppers, but it's getting the flavor. It's all the chicken and the carrot and the celery, the onions. They're mixing, and now I'm going to wait about another 5 minutes or so. Probably lower a little bit, and I'm going to add the ají. You will see when I add it. Okay, now the chicken has released some of its oil. The carrots release some of it. Well, the celery release some of its water. So now it's time for the ají. The key to the flavor, which is again this right here. Be careful with this. I like to put about 2 spoonfuls. Not too much, because then it gets too spicy. If you're gonna make a smaller batch of the soup, then you want to use maybe 1. Okay. You want to make sure that it gets in every little hole and cranny, and the chicken, the vegetables, it's all over. Okay. So now I'm going to give it a little bit of time, and in the meantime I'm going to make the cilantro paste. Okay, so to make the paste, this is what I do. I already washed the cilantro. Okay, I cut this out and already washed it, put it in here. I like to use as much as possible. You know, if you grow your own cilantro at home, you probably only need 1, maybe 2 here, because I get it at the market. I need 3. Okay, So once you have this, okay, now you could, instead of adding the paste to the pot like I did, you could add the paste. Let me lift this a little. You could add the paste in here. Sorry, the ají in here. Add water, and then just let the Vitamix do its thing. Okay, so I added 2 glasses of water. Okay, you can add a little bit less. It's up to you. Okay, so the paste is ready. I'm going to go ahead and add it to this. Now, this may look a little like cocon, which is a wonderful soup from Guatemala. It's green based as well. Okay. Let me see if I can move the a little closer. That's what it's going to look right now. Now, I'm going to add, it should be, the ají should be spicy with the chicken, all of the flavors. So now I'm going to add water. Now you could add just plain water, or you can do what I do, an old faithful, which is Maggi. Now if you don't like this, here let me show you. This is Maggi, okay? A little bit of that into a few cups of water, and then add to the mixture, or you can use chicken broth. It's up to you. You can, choose what to do, or what you may be able to do is maybe buy a whole chicken and then pour some of the pieces of chicken you're not going to use in the water, so then you can create add celery and carrots to it, and you create your own broth. Okay, but that's really up to you. So I'm gonna let it cook for another maybe 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna start adding the water. I will add the potatoes later on. I'm gonna cut some corn, which I will show you. And then towards the end, I'm going to add cumin. Okay, so I added the water, and I added Maggi seasoning. Okay, but this is what it looks like right now. It's gonna thicken, and then I'm going to add the potato. Usually I'll add some squash, green squash, also some maybe zucchini at the end, just to thicken it and make it greener. And at the last 10-15 minutes of boiling, I'm going to add white rice. How much of it? I don't want it to add too much, because then it gets way too thick. Not enough soup. So I'll probably add about, for this, maybe about 4 ounces of rice might be enough, along with the corn. Okay, so while the soup is boiling, it's not boiling yet, and it's actually far from boiling. But I'm gonna prepare this, so have it ready. I got 3 potatoes, white potatoes. You can use 4 or 2, it's up to you. Again, the first time you try to do this, you try to cook this, try it, don't be afraid, and see what happens. I'm adding, I say about a cup of rice. Now, you don't want to add too much, because then it becomes arroz con leche, which is, mushy, and it's all rice. Remember, the rice is going to expand. I'm going to use about half of this bag of green peas. They're frozen. And I'm going to add, because my son likes corn in his soup, I'm adding this much corn. So also cumin, I think I said that already. And then you taste, and if you need a little bit more salt, a little more pepper, you add to it, but this should be okay. I recommend doing a small pot and see how it goes, and then from there, growing that pot into a bigger pot, and maybe inviting friends, or invite me if you're one of my former students. Saul Jauregui, if you're watching this, then you owe me dinner. Okay, I think it's ready. And now let's take a look how it's gonna look. Okay, so make sure you add your lemon and your avocado. And there you go, aguadito. Hopefully it tastes good for you.